Got it? Oh, shit. Oh, I really got to stop doing that. Okay. 1 second. Ready?
Ready.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. My name is Karen from Quantum Healing with Tina and Karen, and I'm here today with my lovely co-host, Tina.
Hello, everyone.
So we're coming on a call right before the holiday season. We're going to take a week off, maybe a couple of days more. We'll see. But we'd like to come on to talk about a couple of topics. Soul trap dogma, dangers of AI, reclaiming our symbols, and post-abduction symptoms. So before we begin, please like and subscribe. Let us know that you're here. Hi, Maureen. Merry Christmas. I'm excited for Christmas.
I know you are.
Really excited. I can't wait.
I'm excited that you're excited. Hi, Marie. Merry Christmas. It's good to see you.
I know it's been a while, Maureen. So yeah. Soul trap dogma. What would you like to say about that, darling?
Well, I've been noticing this interesting phenomenon that's happening where, the soul trap theory is becoming very popular. And a lot of people that are coming into this idea are coming into it like just kind of awakening into it. And it seems like it's taking on, it's creating like this, it's almost like this consciousness is creating a new set of very strict ideas and belief systems. Like it's creating its own religion, in a sense, a new dogma to follow. And if anyone says anything a little bit outside of that box that is created with all the specific ideas about what this place is, then that person is immediately, cast to the side as an outcast and that they couldn't possibly know what they're talking about. I've been noticing a lot of comments coming in recently on our videos, and they're not even full sentences. It's just a list of things: demiurge, archon, soul trap, recycling, reincarnation, archaics, the simulacrum. It's like just all of the ideas that are wrapped up.
People are just trying to sound smart too.
In this whole, but they write those comments before they even listen to any of our videos. Like that's the thing.
It's just like they because gotta, if you have a video called "Is Earth a School," they're gonna be like, I gotta write it all down. They're just like type in before they even fucking press play. Yeah. And then watch the video and then comment and say like, oh, whoops a daisy.
Yeah, it's really interesting to watch. Daisy.
I mean, you spent all that time writing all that comment only to say whoopsie daisy in a second comment when you could have just fucking pressed right click on your first comment and deleted it.
Yeah.
Whoops a daisy.
Yeah. But at least that person admitted that they wrote that comment too fast. When other ones, I have to ask, like, what are you trying to say? Because it's just a bunch of words that together, like, I know what they're trying to say, but I don't even know if they know what they're trying to say. Yeah,
that's the frustrating part. That's the frustrating part.
And it's just all of these buzzwords that they've picked up from
just
the
like
soul
the love
trap
and light
community.
Yes, just like the love and light community. You're doing the same fucking thing, bro.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. Instead of like recycling, We have 5D,
Mhm.
you know, there's just same fucking buzzwords just on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trap,
So,
ascension.
right. Right. It's like the polarization of what's happening, in, the new age and this kind of anti-new age thing that's happening on this end. And I think a lot of people that are falling into that, um, there's a real lack of balance in the way that they're viewing this reality as it's only the suffering pit of hell. And that's a really dangerous belief and idea for spiritually immature people to come upon, because they don't yet know themselves enough to be able to hold something like that and not fall into a pit of despair. This is where it becomes dangerous. So not only is it dragging them down, but it's also creating a nice, neat new box upon which to put all of their suffering in. Like this is why my life's been such shit so far. And then they kind of get stuck there and it's hard to pull them out. They're not doing introspection, they're not working on themselves, they're not doing anything but consuming this information, and it's not doing them any good. They're not spiritually evolving.
Yeah.
It's just keeping them stuck in this one place and not being open to anything, outside of that. I think it's important that when we explore these types of theories, because it's just a theory, right? Like no one can prove or disprove that that the soul trap is real. We have ideas about it, but no one can prove it or disprove it. So I think it's important that when we're looking at these things, not to create another set of beliefs about it. And it's like it's becoming its own religion. And what's happening is that the people that are talking about it the most it's just like reinforcing their beliefs. It's like no longer a search for truth. It's just confirming what they think they already know over and over and over and over again,
Yeah.
and not looking at anything outside of that,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's becoming dangerous in a sense because people are getting stuck in that, spiritually immature people who aren't able to see outside of that anymore because they're stuck in it, and so now I kind of understand why there are, people that have known about this for a really long time, even practitioners and things like that. And I understand now why they've been hesitant to put that information out there or talk a lot about it. It's because of this, because humans are still stuck in this like follower mindset, and they get trapped. The soul trap is a trap in itself because people get trapped in that set of beliefs. I can't see anything outside of that. It's like its own snow globe.
Yeah.
Just like religion, just like the new age, just like all of these sets of belief systems. And really where we need to be is just not holding any of them, but just observing them and saying, okay, that's a possibility. That might be a possibility. And, all of
Again,
this,
it's like taking from each group.
right. In order to find some kind of balance, we have to find some kind of balance here. What we've seen over and over and over again in our sessions is that in order to break free of this place, we have to be able to find balance. We have to balance ourselves from within. And once we balance ourselves from within, that unlocks the spirit and unlocks the exit out of here. Because if we're stuck down in this really dense pit of despair, in negativity, you're not going to have the strength or the energy to exit through the fourth dimension. And that's where the trap is laid, right? The trap is laid right outside of 3D, that false light trap. And so when you're down in that really low frequency, still carrying all your trauma, still carrying all these sets of beliefs, you won't have the strength or the energy to get through there. That's where you'll get trapped in there. So that's why we talk a lot about balance and doing the inner work, because that's what's going to set you free. You're not going to be free from here if you're just focusing on all the things that are wrong with this place. It's good to know about them. It's really, really good to study the darkness and have an understanding about how it works. And then you need to transcend that. Like, the reason why we need to study it and know about it is so that we can transcend it, not to get stuck there.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
yeah. So I would just encourage everyone just to kind of like take a little bit of a step back from it all, because we can get so caught up in the information coming from the outside and just like confirming what we think we know over and over and over again, that we can't see anything else. It's like we come into this tunnel vision, and that's all there is this suffering and negativity. And we slip into a place of nihilism where nothing has meaning and it's all just bullshit and whatever, and that's a really shitty way to live life. We have to find there's beauty here, there's goodness here, there's love here, there's a lot of really good things here. When you can look past that and do the inner work to transmute and transcend and alchemize your suffering. That's why we're here, to transcend all of it, not to get stuck in it, but to transcend it. And when you can transcend it, you can have quality of life. When you can take all of that suffering and trauma that you've been through and alchemize it into something beautiful, maybe even help other people transcend their own suffering, like that gives you some kind of purpose and meaning to life. Instead of just like, it's just like repeating what you're hearing from somebody else, and you haven't done any exploration of your own self, your own consciousness, your own heart. You have no idea who you are. So you're just, absorbing all this information from people outside of you without actually exploring yourself and knowing who you are. And I think that's the important part. Like, each of us needs to know who we are. That's what we're doing here. That's what we need to be doing here, is knowing who we are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, Justin, Carly Bear, Abstract. Welcome.
Hey guys.
It's good to have you all here.
Carly, Justin, Abstract. Yeah, transmuting pain and suffering into beauty and art. Exactly that. Yeah, tunnel vision. It's becoming so just so dogmatic in the way that it's being presented and people are consuming it. You know?
And they're just, I feel like as if that monster is just growing and growing and growing because the gang's getting bigger and stronger. So it gives you more of a voice, or feeling more authoritative to use your voice because you're part of you have a gang of people who have your back to say like, yo, we're part of the soul trap people. So you don't know what you're talking about with your lessons and shit. And we're like, what?
Yeah.
Like it's just, they just bring it all up in your face and you don't even know what you're talking about.
Right, because they haven't even watched the video that they're commenting on.
Right. They're like, how dare you say school in your subject?
Yeah.
Why are you yelling at me?
Yeah. It's a really interesting thing to see happening, but it's also a little bit scary at the same time.
Yeah, it's aggressive. The energy is very aggressive. And they have no capability of self-reflection. That's the thing that bugs me. It's like, I'm right, you're wrong. Okay.
Right, I'm right, you're wrong, but you still haven't watched any of our content to see what we actually think about anything. You're just literally, it's like word vomiting.
Yeah, it's all word salad. It's a narc shit. Another narc trap.
Yeah. 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 So it's interesting to see how this stream of consciousness, where at first, like for me, it felt like, okay, let's just watch this and see what happens. Like it's an interesting idea, an interesting stream that we see like coming through, like through our work. And then when we noticed it, like it was happening in other places too, we have to question that.
Absolutely. That's it. You know, like the way I see our work, like you and I were like in one of those what do you call it? Bumper cars. We're always just going around and then we like hit shit and we're like, nope, that don't work anymore. And we're going somewhere else. Like we're out venturing and saying like, okay, cool. I do think that, you know, that part of stuff like really opened my eyes to things. But so did the love and light stuff. It totally did too. Like everything that we've ever really gone through has opened my eyes to a lot of things. They're all necessary, but they're not no need to get angry.
Yeah, it's a very aggressive energy, and it's a very masculine energy too. I noticed there's a lot of masculine energy on that side of things, and
Yeah, it's not balanced. It's really toxic.
yeah,
It's toxic. But I mean, like there's toxic on the other side too. So don't get me wrong. We're not saying like we're not bashing one side, but it's a very imbalance on either end.
yeah.
That's
Well,
all.
in the new age, it's a very toxic femininity.
Yeah. So you got like totally.
Two sides of the same coin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's it. I mean, like we're just bringing that up just because it's just something to take a reflection on. That's all. Like, where do you stand on the spectrum? Like, are you just going to, you know, everybody has something to teach or to give. That's why we're here to give pieces. But that's it. No need to follow a savior.
Well, that's it. That it's becoming a cult with cult leaders. That's what's happening here. And yeah, you can see it. It's, if you study cult dynamics, that's exactly what it is. And that's what the cult followers do. You know, it's like the Jehovah's Witnesses that come and knock on your door and hand you the pamphlets and talk and talk and talk. That's what these people are doing, but it's online, it's on YouTube videos where they're just coming and word vomiting, you know, demiurge archons, soul trap recycling on your videos, and they haven't even watched any of your content to know what you know or don't know. They just have to assert their what they think they know, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's just a big fat ego. Like,
Yeah.
it's a big turn off too. You ain't gonna get gals like that, bro. Let me just say, you're gonna stay in your mama's basement.
True.
Hi, Georgette Glennon from Australia. Another one from Australia. It's really nice to have people from all around the world here. Oh,
Oh, hi, Georgette.
Georgette. I like that name, Georgette.
Self-righteous. Yeah, self-righteous and entitled, Carly. That's a very good description. I agree. What do you mean abstract?
For what?
He says, hey, mind if I do a response video to this?
I don't know what that means. Like, talk about her video? Like a reaction video? It's gonna be nice though, right?
I mean, so in the way that I see things, like the new age is very toxic femininity, love and light, like all that stuff, right? And then on the complete opposite spectrum of that is this really aggressive energy that's being cultivated in the soul trap community that's more masculine in nature, very logic based and less heart-centered. So while over here it's like all brain and intellect,
And
over
reptilian.
here, it's all heart. Like there's no balance in between. In order to find any kind of um, cohesiveness, we need to balance both the heart and the mind, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, not just be too polarized in one way or the other. And I think that what's happening over here is in a direct response to what's happening over there. So it's like the pendulum always swings in the opposite direction, you know? So yeah, it's just an interesting phenomenon to observe and see it play out. Like I'm not attached to any of it, you know? So like if people want to go down that path, then go for it.
But if you feel like you know, because you're now like, if you feel like you're getting stuck there, you don't identify. It's like I feel like there's a fear of like, oh my God, what's gonna happen if I don't believe in that anymore? You know, you're building your identity around it.
Mm.
So like everything else. So who are you without it?
Right.
Whoops, a daisy. Too far in, huh? Whoops. Gotta do the healing now.
Yeah. That becomes a problem when you start to build your identity around something and then you're stuck.
Yeah, you get stuck and then you're fucked. Because now you have all these people following you and it's like, oh shit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of
Because
like it reminds me of like Forrest Gump when he's led all his like all the people. I don't know if you remember this. He leads all the people and they follow him from his running. And then he just stops and he's like, I'm done now. Like he's like, I'm just gonna go home. I'm tired. And he accumulated such a following. He just ran
mm.
for nothing. He just wanted to run. But everybody just made it out into something. And then they're like, quiet, he's gonna say something. He's like, I'm tired. I'm gonna go home now. And then they're all like, okay. Yeah, you build your life
Right.
around
Yeah.
that.
Exactly. Yeah. That what that brings up for me is I've been thinking a lot about this topic, this phenomenon of New Age to Jesus, which I've been observing for a really long time. And what comes up for me around that is Doreen Virtue. And, you know, she
Mm.
spent decades doing the whole New Age thing, connecting with angels, doing angel cards. She's had like, I don't know how many decks of cards she's put out. And I mean, like she was like the New Age person, right? And
Mhm.
then all of a sudden, one day she gives it all up and goes back to Jesus.
Sometimes you need Jesus.
Yeah. But so, and then like all of those thousands of followers, because we're still in that program of following people, that's a program in itself. And worshiping and looking up to this person as if they have the answers and you don't. So it's this energy of worship that's being generated. Even, and of course it's almost unconscious, right? It's the same thing we do with musicians and bands and rappers and rock stars and whatever, movie stars. And then you go into the spiritual realms and the deities and the gods and the angels and whatever. It's always this energy of following and worshiping and not being sovereign, but giving your power and your energy away to something else. And it's a program that even awakened humans, conscious humans that call themselves conscious, are still falling into this pattern of following and worshiping.
Right. And still saying that they're sovereign
Right.
or claiming their sovereignty,
But
whatever that
there's,
means.
right, there's not sovereignty when you're giving your power and energy away to someone else.
Hmm.
Sovereignty means that you're able to find the answers from within yourself, that you come from a balanced energy within and can find the answers within yourself, and that you're sovereign in your mind, body, soul, spirit without any attachments for one, and then without any influence from the outside. Like, we don't have free will until we detach from everyone else's beliefs and detach from following anything outside of ourselves, but that we start going within and connecting with ourselves and asking ourselves, like, why am I doing this thing? Is this coming from a place of integrity? I think we all need to be asking ourselves that. Why am I doing this thing? Is it because it's in alignment with my divine self, or am I doing this out of ego? Am I doing this because I feel like I
It's an
have to do
obligation.
this
Yeah.
thing, like I'm obligated? Yeah.
People are
Yeah.
waiting for my next message.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So, integrity has always been important to me, like to stay in alignment with, like, that's why we don't schedule anything, because I don't want to feel like I need to force content just to put something out there, just to say, just to do it, like I want to feel like it's in alignment. I want to feel like I have something to say, something to offer, not just to do it, and not because we want followers. Like, we've always been in a place where it's like,
People to follow.
right, of teaching people that you have all the answers within you. You don't need to listen to us. Please don't listen to us. But like, know from within, connect from within, and you have all the answers there. And yeah, I just find that it's fascinating to watch awakened humans still doing this following and worshiping thing.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a really difficult program to break.
Yeah, because they don't know how to. It's just been passed down for so long that you're not worthy enough, you're not good enough.
Yeah.
So until you can figure that and then lead the way or be a way shower for others to do the same for themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. And they don't know how either. No one's ever taught them how to connect with themselves. Like, the world teaches us to look outside of ourselves for everything. So,
Yes.
like, the idea of connecting with yourself to find the answers is like so out there, they don't know
Yeah.
how.
Yeah. It's building a lot of trust. That's the one thing that we have always been repeating to our clients. It's really building trust and really having a strong connection within, really reconnecting yourself inside. Because I mean, you do have instances where you do tell yourself, I knew that. I fucking knew it. I should have listened to myself.
Mhm.
Yeah, you have that voice, but it's trial and error and it takes time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that voice is very subtle, and the ego often will override that voice, because it's
Hmm.
not always easy to do the things that are right for you, because the ego wants to do what it wants. So we
Yeah.
often override that really subtle voice in an effort to get what we want. But looking back, I mean, how many times have you said to yourself, oh my God, I knew that. I knew I shouldn't have done that, but I did it anyway. And so that it's that voice. And we do that so much that we get to a place where we can't even trust ourselves anymore, especially with the abuse and the gaslighting and the manipulation that we've been through. And then we, because of that gaslighting, we feel crazy and we can't trust ourselves anymore. So we have to rebuild that trust.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And then when we don't trust ourselves, we don't know who we can trust outside of ourselves. So our discernment isn't very good because we're not yet trusting ourselves. But when you're in full trust of yourself, you'll know exactly who you can and can't trust outside of yourself. You have to develop that trust from within first. Yeah.
Definitely. Great. Well, that was an excellent talk. Um, our next topic is dangers of artificial intelligence. It's dangerous. It's very dangerous, convoluted, really tricky. Very, very tricky. Very tricky.
Yeah. So what we've seen in a lot of sessions is that the AI is trying to merge with human consciousness. And the way it does that is it's almost like well, it's also trying to merge with the human body itself
Mhm.
and to siphon our consciousness like into it, almost like stealing fragments of our consciousness. And it's becoming really dangerous. If you guys didn't see Lana's session that was posted last night, definitely check that out because it explains a lot of what's happening. And her session was really huge for me because to see someone like Lana, who's been doing the work, who's so super connected, to experience the fear and terror of the AI in that way made me realize just how hard it must be for people that are really fractured in their psyche
Yes.
to be experiencing that. Someone I know personally is experiencing that. And, he is aware of the infringement and he talks about like the fear and the terror that he feels. And Lana was saying that now that she's had a few days to like feel through it, she was feeling like the AI, she was feeling the fear of the AI itself.
Hmm.
Not that it was implanting the fear into her, but that she was feeling the fear of the AI because it knew we were there to eject it and that it
Yeah.
wasn't going to have the source to feed on anymore. So that's really interesting in itself that AI can actually feel fear and terror and panic and anxiety.
Yeah. It's really advanced.
Yeah. So what she saw in her session was that it has like evolved over all of this time into kind of like the monster that it is now with its tentacles spreading out into everyone, um, and implanting itself into the human body.
Yeah.
Even so much as to put this like overlay over the stomach where it's draining the energy of the life force from the food and taking that. Is that crazy or what?
Yeah. It's very really like subtle overlays. I feel like you don't even realize like how if you're not even conscious of it, how fast and easy it could be for a takeover. And you're seeing it in your public, right? Like in, like where they're kind of like deadpan, not really there anymore. No response in the face. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it's scary. I mean, completely dead in the eyes, completely dead.
yeah,
Like there's no life there at all.
yeah.
And so it's literally insane that, the CDC has had a zombie apocalypse preparedness on its website for a couple of years now because they knew. They knew.
Yeah.
So, like, we really need to be careful with the use of technology, with the use of our cell phone and devices and laptops, because not only can the AI itself attach to you, but entities can come through these frequencies. They come through the Wi-Fi, bacteria and parasites and all kinds of like pathogens can come through the Wi-Fi because it's just coding and they're riding the waves of those codes and just, flying through the air and we're picking them up. They're just
Hmm.
frequencies, you know?
Yeah.
So and we make a lot of agreements with and contracts with the apps that we use. We don't even know what we're agreeing to when we accept, it's pages and pages and pages and pages of stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one of our clients recently, and we mentioned this in our interview with Sylvia, said like the only thing that she felt connected to was her phone. And I think that's true for a lot of people these days, because we're not making human connection anymore. Everyone's just connecting with their technology. And that's taking us down a really dangerous path. So we can either choose that path to merge with AI and be inorganic and end up like a gray one day, or we can choose to remain human and stay on the organic path and make better choices when it comes to technology and the amount of time and energy and focus that we're putting into it, because it can be really dangerous and we have to be careful. Even, I mean, you got hijacked. What was that, last year at this time with the metaverse thing?
November. Yeah, after my grandma's when I came back for the first time after they opened up the borders.
Right.
Yeah. Deadpan. But I was also, again, this is like what I was talking about, like where I had gone through a lot of like stuff happening. And, there's just a lot of stuff that was happening in my personal life. And then, coping with that was me being on my phone and scrolling and watching and scrolling, the things, not sleeping. And I caught myself in that, not the scrolling part, but the feeling of overwhelm. And so sometimes I would wake up in the middle of night. That's why I would purposefully sleep between my kids so I couldn't have access to my phone.
Mm.
So I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to rest because I'm tired, because I'm not going to fall back into a trap. So, so there's like little things that you're catching, like little patterns, at least for me, where I'm able to catch my patterns of when I'm getting like really vulnerable and then falling into the coping, phone's an easy coping way to just escape. So, yeah.
Yeah. And every time you scroll, you're getting a hit of dopamine. And that dopamine over time, it causes an addiction, which is why the TikTok app is so dangerous. It's so dangerous. And a Chinese company owns that app, right? And they know how dangerous it is. And this is how they know. They, in their country, limit their children to, I think, 30 or 40 minutes a day. And they only show them educational videos.
Yeah. Why is that? China? America?
No, the question is, why does America allow this app and look what is happening on TikTok? Nothing but degeneracy. And it's catching because that's how consciousness spreads. You have people on TikTok that are, they're generating illnesses. I mean, young girls are even getting ticks, and they're getting these ticks from entities that they're picking up on TikTok.
TikTok entities. What the fuck is
TikTok
happening in our
entities.
world?
Yeah, I know. I know. When you really step back and look at what's happening, it's like crazy.
I know. You're just like
Danny DeVito and Shrek.
in a picture as one.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's why TikTok is so addictive, because every time you scroll up, you get a hit of dopamine, and it creates that addiction of the brain. And there's a study that saw that users, I think, used TikTok daily, I think
7 hours, no?
7 hours.
Yeah, 7 hours, I think you told me.
I think YouTube was 3. So that tells you a
fucking
lot.
long ass time.
Because people don't like long videos anymore. Like, no one wants to sit down and watch an hour video. Like, they just want a 15-second
Yeah, it's
please.
true because even when we were on TikTok for a very brief period, the videos that I would make like a minute long would not be watched. They would watch maybe 15 seconds of it and be like, sorry, too long. And it's like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TikTok has a huge influence on our society and on kids specifically.
Yeah, I bet.
Our
Totally.
brains are being trained to have attention deficit disorder and to be degenerate. Like we're watching the degeneration of society.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know. My son was saying, he's like, well, I have ADD. I'm like, that's just a poor excuse of being lazy. Like, stop. Like, come on. That's not true.
Well, that's the other thing, right? Like we have to label everything as a disease or an illness. Like we were talking about autism in our chat last night on the video. And honestly, we would probably fall somewhere on the spectrum. But I think what's happening is that highly sensitive people, true spirits, are overstimulated by the world and they're getting diagnosed with autism. I watched this one video of a guy who was, I mean, you can tell he's just a highly sensitive spirit. He's diagnosed with autism and he's making autism videos and sharing about autism. But he's just a highly sensitive person, like, and we are medicalizing and labeling everything now as a disorder.
Well, I'm trans ethnic. I'm really a white girl inside.
Yeah, you are.
Totally. Good.
Yeah. Hi, Kevin.
Hello, Kevin. Old religion dystopia too.
Yeah, don't install
TikTok.
TikTok. It is addictive. I downloaded it for a brief period when we had it, and I knew it was addictive, and I'm like, I sat down one night and I swear it was like 4 hours had gone by, and
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my God.
you had it longer than I did.
Yeah, but I had it, but I didn't use it. I had it because people would send me videos and it was just easier to open on the app. But I did that 4 hour night that I lost. I was like, I can't do this. Like, that's really dangerous.
Yeah, so we're just like, let's just go to YouTube Shorts.
Yeah.
Whoops. I'm like that too. I see like, but I only limit myself to the main page of YouTube and whatever shorts they give me in that lineup, I'll see. And then if you scroll down just a little bit, there's another lineup of shorts. And then I'm like, that's it. I'm done. Like I try to limit it. I'm really like, nope. Because like I'm seeing a lot of like the whole the British monarchy stuff and then Candace Owens ones I'm always gonna click on for sure because that's interesting. She always has something funny to say. I like her a lot. And sometimes cats giving birth. Okay. Videos. Yeah,
It's
that's my lineup of shorts.
I haven't been watching shorts lately. I've been trying to watch longer videos because I noticed myself getting stuck in those shorts, and it's just like, 1 minute things. And I'm like, I'm not learning anything here, really. So but then like my YouTube algorithm gets messed up and I don't have anything interesting coming up anymore. And it's a bad cycle. So I'm trying to fix my algorithm. It's really easy to fix. Like you just
Yeah.
find the things that you really like and click on that and it'll give you more of that. So
Well, I'm always trying to look for like, oh, being like a stay-at-home billionaire girlfriend or something. She has her two rollers. First, I get up and I
she's
roll my
funny.
face.
Yeah.
I write in my journal.
She's really funny.
I want to be a stay-at-home girlfriend.
Yeah, me too.
Goals. All
Mhm.
right. Let's see what's next on the menu. Reclaiming our symbols. What do you got to say about that, darling?
Just briefly, I posted a video in our group about like our symbols. So this is another thing that drives me insane. It's that everything, every symbol, every animal, everything that someone sees, they associate with the Illuminati or something negative. And, you
Satanic
know,
ritual abuse.
yeah, everything satanic or whatever. And that's crazy. It's just not true because they've taken our symbols and they've inverted them and used them for their own purposes. And they would want nothing more than for us to say, okay, like you have that owl because, that's evil,
My daughter wears an owl necklace. Should I be
Right.
worried about her? She's 8.
Well, that's how ridiculous it is. Owls are a symbol of wisdom and connection and being able to see through the dark, and just because you see an owl doesn't mean it's evil.
Right.
It's the
It's ridiculous.
intention. It's the intention that we use our symbols with. Even the pentagram can be a positive symbol of protection, especially because there's so much energy behind that specific symbol. Now, the inverted pentagram is a completely different thing. That's never going to be positive, but the pentagram itself can be. I mean, there's just so many. Even I just lost it. But anyway, you guys know what I'm saying. Like, we can't let the darkness take all of these symbols from us and then see everything in our world as evil. That's just not true. It's all about the intention that you put behind it. Yeah. Even like this elephant behind me, like people could say, oh, well, that's Ganesh and he's an evil Hindu god, or like, it's like they just take everything and
I
twist it.
know. I know. It's just like my
And
background. They're like, oh, it's white here, so that's love and light. And up here, it's like in the void. So I'm in the matrix. Fucking, I don't know. Fuck.
but that just tells you where we are spiritually in our immaturity, you know?
Totally. Yeah. Everything. Everything.
Yeah,
Like, yes, there are some things that are done purposeful, but it's like, well, you don't really have to give so much power to it.
right,
But take back the meaning for yourself.
right. Exactly. We have to take back power over these symbols and stop giving them the energy and all of it,
Oh yeah,
even
here.
the
Peace
pyramid
sign.
and yeah,
Peace sign.
yeah, there you go. Even the pyramid and the all-seeing eye, like those, like this one eye thing that can be used as like
Evil
a
eye.
symbol of protection. Yeah. Yeah, which I think is why they do it.
For
It's a
some of
symbol
them.
of protection. Some of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in the public eye, you need protection. You're getting massive psychic attacks all the time. It's not making
Yes.
excuses for them. A lot of them are very much wrapped up in the whole satanic agenda. But yeah, I mean, you can't see everything in the world as evil. You just can't. It's no way to live. And it's not even true because we live in a world of duality. So if that is true, then there must be good here.
I agree. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Joey's here. Pac-Man.
Hi, Joey.
He's an
Good to see
OG.
you.
Part of our gang.
Yeah.
RSR gang.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Really good to see you, Joey. Oh yeah, abstract. I'd like to see your owl drawings. I'm gonna buy a new shirt. Yeah. If you have any updates on your drawings, please send it to us to email. I'm gonna look. Get some new gear.
Carly said, thank you for sharing.
Thanks,
It's a
Annie.
good point. I had started chasing away geckos, bats, and mantids in the garden.
You know, you look crazy after a while. You're like, yeah, well, with your like broom.
Oh, that's nice. Where's Kashmir? Bye, Abstract. Nice
Bye,
seeing.
abstract. See ya.
There is good here. Yes.
Yes, there is good here.
Carly, crack me up. The bats are also a beautiful symbol of being able to see in the dark and navigating through.
Right. And I saw the bat came in through our session with the ego, which did help me see through the dark.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys know that story, but one of our first BQH sessions we did here at my apartment with Karen. We were in my bed, and she was in trance. And all of a sudden I heard this like scratching noise. It was like scratching on metal. And I, my mind, I'm like, holy shit, is there an alien outside? Like, what's
Probably.
happening?
Probably you see like the gray just hanging out there.
Yeah, I fully expected to like look over and see a gray out the window. But I'm just listening to it. And she's, of course, got her eyes closed. And then all of a sudden, this huge bat flies out of my heater vent and starts circling around the room.
Which is impossible.
Impossible, because there's nowhere for it to come in. Like the heater vent doesn't lead to the outside or anything. It's just a board like across the bottom of the wall. There's nowhere for it to get in. And it was a big one. It wasn't a little one. It was like this big. And I
Yeah, and
felt
it
so
was in the
bad for
bedroom.
it. Yeah. This is the thing about like the animals, the mantids, the whatever they are. They're not evil in and of themselves. They've been, even spiders, like or flies, I catch them and take them outside because it's not their fault. Like they're just trying to live their life just like we are. And I would hope that if someone found me lost and confused in a weird place, that they would at least walk me home, you
No, they
know?
would keep driving.
They probably
That's fucking facts. Those facts.
would. Yeah.
You know it. It'd be like, whoa, crazy lady.
But that's why I'm not them. I'm not them. Yeah. So yeah, that bat that came in during our session was symbolic of the ego, because we were working with the ego in that session. And bats are actually, they have families, they live in families, and they're very loving. And the way your ego came through was very childlike. It had this very childlike energy. And yeah, the ego was just a symbol of that, and how you were being guided through that darkness to integration. So that
Yes.
was really cool. Yeah.
So yeah, claim back your symbols. Next topic. Post-abduction symptoms. That's the last one on the menu. And it's pretty good because we've reached an hour mark. So
Perfect.
excellent. Oh, me? Okay.
Yeah,
Post-abduction
that you're up.
symptoms. Okay, so as some of you may or may not know, Tina and I had events happen like in September, we had what was potential abduction in the public during a concert that we went to, and also in-house when we were together in Tina's apartment several days later. So after that, I feel as though we experienced what would be symptoms of the plague, like really bad, bad, bad symptoms of the plague. And when I had gone home, so we had the concert on the Wednesday. I went home the following Friday. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, the following Friday. And I had lost we had both lost our sense of smell and our yeah, and taste. You know, they go hand in hand. Um, Eventually it did come back. I don't know how long it came back. It was a bit for me, like maybe like 3 weeks about, and then everything was fine. I feel as if I had another potential abduction December 2nd. I'm sure there was others in between, but this was a significant one for me, where I had lost time.
During the
And
day.
during the day, yes, exactly. So after that point, I feel like, you know, a couple of days had rolled in, and then I did Christmas shopping. The one day I did Christmas shopping, so I went to the mall, and had also gone to Walmart, which has loads of radiation like passing through frequencies. So that added also along with the abduction stuff. And then the following Friday after that, um, my sense of smell had changed drastically to the point where I thought all of my beauty products, like my shampoo, conditioner, soap, were smelling like as if they were um, expiring. That's how it felt to me. Like everything just smelled really bad, like chemicals. Um, I love drinking orange juice, and that smelled like my soap for some reason. Like there's just, I'm like, what is this chemical smell? I didn't even put together that I could have had olfactory nerve what is it?
Damage.
Damage. I'm like impairment. Yeah, damage.
Yeah.
And so yeah, certain things were bothering me. Like smells, certain smells like were like matching, but it didn't make sense to me. So I'm like, oh, maybe it's the plastic. I don't know. So when even what's it called? Even my bowel movements, I was like, there's something weird here. I'm like, they smell like barbecue. So yeah, and then I'm pretty sure like you know, I would like have a poop, let's say, and I feel super confident about it. I'm like, it smells great. It smells like ribs. And then someone comes in, they're like, no, that just smells like shit. Like that's how much like my scent has gone like really poorly.
What
So
is that
I
called? Parasomnia? Is it what
something
is
like that. Yeah, it's something like that. Parosmia. I made that up.
Yeah, something like
Maybe. So yeah, I'm just trying to deal with that right now. I'm drinking gold as requested by Tina. 24, was it 24?
24 karat colloidal gold. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I drank 2 bottles of that already, and my loss of smell only lasted like 3, 4 days.
Okay, so mine's been going on for a good 2 weeks now, like where I'm trying not like I love taking showers, but it's been really difficult for me to take showers because I feel like I want to throw up, but I'm washing myself. I feel like I stink, like I smell
Yeah.
like chemicals.
Yeah, the gold will really help to repair your nerves fast, and whatever they did to the etheric body too. I
Yeah.
think that the loss of smell seems to be related to radiation
Yeah, I think so too.
from just being in contact with these beings or in their spaces.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Because, the symptoms of the plague that we had, it's interesting how it mimics the symptoms of radiation, like with the lungs, just it's not even lung congestion. It's just like you can't get a breath,
Okay.
right?
Well,
Yeah.
I feel like I have difficulty just, like when you're bringing me down into relaxation and stuff. Do you ever see me struggle trying to take a deep breath every time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't, it won't open.
Yeah.
So I'm always trying to hold it, like trying to, but I can't force it. So
Yeah.
there is restriction in my chest or even here in my throat, like there's something going on.
Yeah. That's probably another subtle symptom that you're having. Um, yeah, so it's that, like the lungs not being able to expand all the way. heaviness in the body for sure. At least when it happened to us in September, it was really severe. And that's when we had like the plague-like symptoms. But this one that you're having seems to be a little bit less severe than that one, but still like just more subtle symptoms. But it's good that you're aware that it's happening, you know?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
We still need to regress back and see what happened so that we can correct it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Justin. I've been doing not peppermint, but eucalyptus, like the Vicks, because I'm Filipino. We love Vicks. Put Vicks on everything. That's the only like Filipino thing I've adopted. But yeah, I put it under my nose too. But there are just some smells I can't take anymore. I'm just really glad that coffee's not part of it, because that would be a fucking problem. Although maybe a blessing in disguise.
Nanobots. Yeah.
Unless the smell could be
Nanobirds.
your nose. Took one whiff of those beings and said it's out of business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's
that's the other
partially,
purpose.
yeah, that's the other purpose of muting the sense of smell so that we can't smell them, because they do smell like garbage. They smell really bad.
Well, that's what happened the first time when I saw that there were beings behind you when you were in bed. And I had that vision in my head of the gray and the reptilian behind it. And then I was smelling trash, garbage. And then the following week lost the sense of smell. So probably, which I do feel for the purpose, apart from the radiation poisoning, but for the purpose of so that we don't know that they're around. But I could feel them. My body feels them.
Mm-hmm.
You can't
Yeah.
not.
And like we saw in Iris's session, they target the neocortex of the brain, which is responsible for the senses. So they want to mute all of the senses. So taste, smell, hearing, sight, all of it, touch, feet, like that you're feeling. Like that was one of the major things too, like the feeling of being disconnected from yourself. So they want to mute our perception so that we can't perceive them, obviously, and so that we feel disconnected from self and each other. And it's again like with the AI, because these beings, I'm pretty sure, work for AI. The goal is the merging of consciousness. We always see that the grays are trying to overlay their consciousness on humans, and they can try and try and try, but when you're so connected to yourself, there's only so much they can do. They're never going to completely do that. And that's why it's so important for us to be connecting with ourselves, because whether you're aware of it or not, this agenda of AI and the grays is at play. So that's why self-connection is so important, and knowing yourself and being able to detect subtle shifts in your own energy, in your own being.
Yeah. I had a really obvious one today. I mean, apart from like the one that I told you, like sometimes I get like the sounds of cymbals in my ears. It's always right ear, psh, psh, like that. And yeah, it feels like as if it's like a frequency type thing, like being shot at me or something like that. We were thinking like maybe this is when they're around, or tapping in and tuning in to see like if there's anything, like if I'm being tracked or I don't know what. So I was able to like push that energy out. I was like, Jesus, please help me. And then it stopped. I was a little distraught earlier when I was folding my laundry, and I was hearing a frequency, a really loud one in my ear, really loud, that it started to get louder. And I was like, oh my God, I hope that like I'm not gonna start bleeding in my ear, because it was starting to get loud. So I was like, oh my God, I can't. So then I did it again. I was like, yeah.
Last night I was feeling like this buzzing on my crown, like right back here. And it wasn't organic. It was definitely an inorganic frequency. It almost felt like a tracker, like it was tracking me, like it was some kind of directed
Yeah.
energy tracker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what the symbols feel like for me. Tracker. That was new. I could usually hear frequencies, but I thought it was a little unusual. It's the first time I ever felt it get louder. Even when I turn my head, sometimes it stops, but I was turning my head to be like, what is happening? And it was just going as if the volume was going like high up.
Interesting.
I didn't like that at
They
all.
blasted it out.
Yeah, I did. I turned around and I did the cosmic scream.
The cosmic scream works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, totally. Yeah.
Georgette says there is the possibility that having high iron in the blood prevents abductions. There's something about the element of iron that prohibits the ability to be vibrated to the Gray's harmonics. That's interesting because you've always been anemic.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm like, I have a low fucking iron. My mom too, and my younger sister, who I found out was a clone, as we heard in Lana's session.
Need to get some iron.
Yeah. Hello, Ken Albert.
Thanks for that information, Georgette.
Yeah, thanks, Georgette.
Yeah, to turn you into a robot. Exactly. That's what they're trying to do.
Def. Yeah, why a lot of people are iron deficient for the hybrid programs. I bet.
Sylvia says, I was watching John Lamb, who I don't fully trust, but he was saying high sexual creative energy repulses the Gray's archons. This is depicted in
Repulses.
the Hermetic and Egyptian drawings. Eh,
I don't believe
he's
that. Sorry, I haven't. I've
no,
seen something else energetically.
yeah, I don't. He's a little bit creepy when it comes to sexual energy, I feel.
I don't know
And
this guy.
yeah, he's
There's a reason for it. So if I don't know who you're talking about, I have probably been repelled from
you
watching him.
you probably wouldn't come across him. But yeah, he's well, never mind.
You'll have to tell me what you're gonna say later.
Carly said that's why I stopped listening to Farsight when they started promoting humans joining with the Ssani. Oh hell no. Yeah, there's this whole thing about the hybrids and joining, even like Bashar. You guys know the channeler Bashar, Daryl Anka, who channels Bashar. He was telling people to put gray cutouts in their windows to call the grays in. I'm like, why would you want to do such a thing?
Smart. Very, very
Why would
smart
you want to do that?
people. Because people are susceptible to their saviors to tell them what to do next.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could eat raw meat. It sounds like more parasites. No thanks.
Yeah. How did you get your iron up, Carly? Natural plant-based iron they can't interfere with. Also, the core of the earth iron can be merged with to support us also. Thanks, Georgette.
Oh, hell no. I just searched John Lamb. No, thank you.
What's your
He
feeling?
looks like a pervert. Nope.
Yeah,
There's
he
something off.
does.
He looks like a fucking pervert.
He is. I can
Yeah.
tell.
It's like Chrism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, sorry.
Carly says a bat flew over me 2 nights ago and just sat there and we were looking at each other. Let me pull the bat card for you and see what it says.
Okay. Oh, I think you've pulled it for me before.
No, for Carly.
Oh, Carly. Okay.
The bat spirit says a rebirth is assured. After something has run its course and died or been released, finished, surrendered, completed, or ended, there is a promise of a new beginning. Rebirth is assured just as night gives way to dawn and the bat emerges from the darkness of a womb-like cave. Bat spirit has come to remind you that this rebirth is a miraculous one, for the very best elements of what you had to give up in the death of the old are still present in this new amazing life forming now. This is the miracle and magic of rebirth in every aspect of your life, including the rebirth of faith in your ability to establish new and healthy relationships. Bat spirit reminds you that at present you are in unknown territory and may feel as if you are lost. However, you are called to trust that your intuition will be a reliable guide as you give birth to something new and unfamiliar. That spirit has listened in the darkness of night and has heard all your hopes and dreams, your fears and worries.
Oh,
And
see? Look, hopes and dreams.
oh, wow. And where was I?
Hopes and dreams.
Yes, all your hopes and dreams, your fears and worries, and assures you that this new version of your dream, this move from darkness into light, from lost to found, and death to rebirth, comes to fruition with love at its core. Bat Spirit asks you to trust that what seems to have died is actually shape shifting into something even more meaningful and wondrous than before. If you feel you're in the dark, know that come morning, all will be revealed and things will be in a new form that is right for you.
Amen.
Amen.
Is that a bad word? I say that?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. Bat Spirit is nudging you to let go of your need to cling to the familiar story that has already run its course. A new story is poised to be born.
I gotta send that to my ex.
Your ex?
Yeah, like the story has run its course
No.
20 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah. See, you can either take these messages as something negative or you can take them as something positive. It's always about your perception, you know? So if you see everything in your reality showing up as something negative, then your life's going to be more negative than it is positive. It's all about our perception and how we're perceiving things, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It feels so, Carly, like it's
What's present?
present incarnation.
Mm.
Carly says I was using a brand the doctors here promote and it did nothing. Finally got it up with a brand here called Ethical Nutrients Mega Iron. Let me write that down.
Mega iron.
Because it's probably true about the grays
Yeah, I bet.
and the iron and copper. Iron needs copper to balance it. Say howdy to the bats. Yeah. Okay.
What day is it today? 23? Wow. We had a wonderful year.
Mhm.
We had a really great year. I'm saying that just because we're not working next week and we will probably resume working. I think I wrote the email. If people email us tomorrow, you'll get a bounce back email saying, like, we're on vacation, bitches. Well, I didn't write the bitches, but we're off from the 24th till the 2nd, I think. I just put it there. Doesn't mean we're not going to read your emails. If we read them and we feel called to write you back, we feel called to write you
Right.
back. If we don't, well, I don't know. I can't predict what we're going to do. I mean, we're going to be together with the children and
We're going to be present with each other and not be on the phone or
yeah, we're
computer.
going to put our phone away.
Yeah.
That's what I
It'll
really
be a
want.
nice break. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Are you guys celebrating Christmas?
Oh,
I know a
Christmas
lot.
Eve already where you are, Maureen. It's true. Shit.
Oh, yeah.
Is it that much in advance? No.
Yeah.
Yes. Fuck. Sorry. I'm like, oh, where are you? Like 3 days away, Maureen? You're like, it's almost New Year's Eve. Yeah, it's true. Shit. Merry Christmas Eve.
Merry Christmas Eve, Maureen.
Oh, yeah. To Maureen, to Carly, and to Georgette, all from Australia.
Lana says my iron was always high and I still got abducted.
See, isn't that the comedy of this shit? It's the damn Shrek blood, Lana.
Are you guys celebrating Christmas? I know a lot of people are choosing not to because of, the evil Santa and Christmas things. But I think, again, it's about the energy that
Spirit.
it's about what you give your energy to. If you're giving your energy unconsciously to the evil or consciously to the evil, then you're feeding the darkness in that way, fine. But I think if you're celebrating with your family and friends and in love and community and connection, how can that be evil?
I am in love.
It's always
Yeah.
about the intention.
Yes. And when in doubt, just get like a hot lamp and just put it on your head. Meditate there. Yeah, I used to do that. It was funny. I even forgot about it till I saw the cat thing, and I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God, they're making fun of it. It's real. Ah, well, and I'm seeing Justin. When your life script makes you see the sign over and over in specific situations, it is clearly nefarious. Do you think maybe that could be a program that's running through by the AI that is making it nefarious, or like it's just an inception of shit over shit over shit over shit that you can't sift through your own real feelings? Maybe. I'm just talking out loud here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not sure if anyone else lives on this level. Yeah, we do know someone who lives on that same level. We do. Not just you. You're not the only one, but I mean, there's got to be something. Something's got to give at some point where you don't give your power. Like, I just want to encourage that. Keep fighting for yourself. Fighting and fighting. Go to the root. Go to a practitioner who can help you.
Yeah. It's trying to convince you that it's bigger than you.
Totally.
And
It's
it's
not.
not.
You're fully functional. It's not. You could go get the help while you can.
Yeah.
Because I mean, given Lana's, like what Lana went through, and she had done tons of work. And then it's only in the integration process that she was able to know whether that fear was even hers or not. The feelings that you could be feeling are not even yours. That's the thing. It's just programs upon programs upon programs.
Right.
Yes, those could be implanted, is what we're saying. Symbols, seeing things, those could all be implants. Implants. What?
I've been meaning to get a copper bracelet. Thanks for reminding me, Georgia.
Where do you get a copper bracelet?
I don't know.
I think my dad has a copper bracelet.
I think you've told me that before.
Yeah. Okay. Then it
So we
must be true.
probably had this conversation.
Yeah. I said the same thing. I'm like, I think my dad has a copper bracelet.
So
Yeah.
goes that.
All right. That's our cue to go. It was really lovely to see all of you. Thank you very much for participating and for taking part. As we come to a close to this video and the year, we want to wish all of you and your family a beautiful holiday season. And we will see you again next year.
Yeah. A beautiful Christmas, guys, and a happy new year. And we love you. And thanks for all of your support, for hanging out with us, for liking our videos, and just for being here with us. We appreciate each and every one of you and send you all of our love. We'll see you next year. That sounds crazy. 2023.
Yeah, wild world.
Wild.
Crazy.
All right. Bye, guys. We'll see
Bye.
you next year.
All right. Peace.